The Beyond the Fame podcast is fed by Lido Pizza. Lido Pizza never cuts corners. For menu and locations, visit LidoPizza.com. This month's programming is sponsored by Signature Theater in Arlington, Virginia. A Fiddler on the Roof sounds crazy, no? Signature Theater presents Fiddler on the Roof, the timeless musical of family and tradition featuring Tevye, his family, and the village of Anatevka. On stage now through January 25th. Ticket information at sigtheater.org. And of course, this podcast would not be possible without our longtime title sponsor, the Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. Have plans for New Year's Eve? Don't forget to purchase your tickets to that Arena Rock Show's New Year's Eve party or dance the night away in the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Receive 2 complimentary drinks with each ticket purchased. Details and tickets at HollywoodCasinoCharlestown.com. Must be 21 to enter the casino floor and attend a show. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Welcome to the newest episode of Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. I'm your host, Jason Fraley, picking the brains of the top filmmakers, musicians, and artists of our time. Creed performs live next week at the Hall at Live Casino and Hotel in Hanover, Maryland on December 29th. I spoke with founding lead guitarist Mark Tremonti to preview the show and to break down the band's biggest hits like Higher, With Arms Wide Open, My Sacrifice, and One Last Breath. Hey, Mark Tremonti, founding lead guitarist of Creed. Hey, thanks so much for joining the show today.
Thanks for having me.
We are talking because the band is bringing, it's called Creedmas, like Christmas, but Creedmas to the Hall at Live Casino and Hotel in Hanover, Maryland on December 29th. Tee up the show first. I know we want to tell folks, this is like all the good new and old greatest hits of Creed. No Christmas carols on this, right?
No Christmas carols. This is, if you want to see me singing Christmas songs, you got to catch me doing it with the Frank Sinatra Band. We just finished a tour a couple days ago, but no, Creedmas is just a clever name our manager came up with to come up with shows that happen in December, and we're going to do it every year.
But this one in Maryland, it's December 29th. So Christmas will be over, folks. You know, Creed will help you roll into New Year's there. So don't expect the Christmas songs. But it is cool that you just wrap. I want to do a follow-up. You did just wrap a Sinatra thing. And so, you know, we've heard Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Christmas Eve Sarajevo, shredding guitar of Christmas carols. But how do you do it for the Sinatra? Because those are more crooner, you know, ballad of.
Oh, it's crooner ballad. It's a 17-piece brass band. And when we do it in Orlando, we do a 40-piece band. We have choir, we have strings, cellos. You know, it's biggest show of the year for me.
And is there like the sounds, bells and whistles of the pinball machines behind you? Because I see.
Oh yes, I hope so. I try to carry them with me.
I love that background. For those of us that, you know, maybe on social media or YouTube, podcast can't see what we're talking about. You have to hear the pinball.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I'll try not to tilt the Zoom call.
There you go.
So all right. Well, then for this Creed, so there's not going to be any Christmas songs, but tease the set list a little bit. Is this any new Creed songs we're rolling out? Is it like the greatest hits from back in the day or a combo?
Yeah, it's greatest hits mixed with album tracks. You know, we just got on the phone the other day, tried to come up with a set list. So we're doing the first shows we're doing are down in Hollywood, Florida. It's going to be back-to-back shows. We're going to come up with 2 different sets. So we're going over that now. So who knows what we'll play on the 29th, but I'm sure it will be, you know, a bunch of the favorites and some surprises along the way.
That's what you want. You buy a ticket, like when all these folks come out here to the Maryland show, they buy a ticket to hear, you know, those handful of songs they know and love. But then they want to be surprised and hear the latest, you know, what your creative juices are working on next. And yeah, so it's a good mix. Awesome. Well, whenever I have a band on, famous band member like yourself, I always love to tease the show at the start, but then paint a little bit of the history of the band, some of the highlights. So I know you were Tallahassee, Florida State Seminoles territory in 94, right? At the time, it was lead vocalist Scott Stapp, drummer Scott Phillips, bassist Brian Marshall, and yourself. Just real quick, remind our listeners how you all came together. How'd you meet?
Me and Scott Stapp went to high school together at Lake Highland Prep in Orlando, Florida, and then he came up to Tallahassee because he wanted to be in a band, and I was already playing with the local musicians, and he sought out my roommate at the time, and she's like, you know, this is, you know, remember Mark from school? He plays guitar. So I was already doing kind of open mic night things. So I got together with Scott. We pieced a band together back, like I said, in around 94, and started playing at college bars and put out a record, My Own Prison, and it started selling well. So the record labels came down and gave us a record deal.
Yeah, My Own Prison was like 97. So if you're
Mhm.
diehard fans, remember the title track as well as What's This Life For and One and all those early ones. But as you're saying, then it was after that that the second album, the record labels came down and signed you all. And that the second album, Human Clay in 99, is what everyone remembers. That exploded.
Mhm.
What did it go? Like Diamond? What's that, like 11 times platinum or Diamond or something like that?
Yeah, Diamond is 10 times platinum, but yeah, record went diamond. And My Own Prison, we recorded it before our record deal, but then when we got a record deal, we remixed it and released it underneath the record deal. So it was
Okay.
that was our first entrance.
So it just sounded a little cleaner, a little spruced up than the whatever you were hawking around Florida.
Yeah, record labels just want to say they did something. So hey, let's take your record that's already just fine and let's throw some money at it and try to make it better. I think they both sounded fine.
Let's put our stamp on it. And for them, they're like, well, the work's already done. It's already
Yeah,
recorded. But
yeah,
well, maybe that
exactly.
original is a collector's item. It's like two
It
for.
is. It is definitely a collector's item. I don't think I have one, but I sign
We
some
need to
every
get
now
you
and
one
then.
for Christmas. Come
There
on,
you
for
go.
Creed
There you go.
Christmas. Uh, all right. Well, we got to go a little deeper dive into that second album, then Human Clay, because Higher and With Arms Wide Open were massive. Let's take them one at a time.
Mhm,
Higher, I think, was the very first one I remember. Can you take me higher?
mhm.
So that was Scott Stapp. He wrote it, right? Was it about like having lucid dreams or turning a nightmare into something spiritual or heavenly, or what's your take on it?
Well, when me and Scott get together, I write the music and he writes most of the lyrics. And we Scott had a thing for playing in front of crowds, and he would put us kind of on the spot and say, "Hey guys, just Mark, throw down a riff, and guys play along, and let's write a song here in the moment in front of all these people." And that chorus was written in front of a live audience, and then it just felt good at the time, and we polished it up, put it out, and when we were doing the recording for the second record, we knew that song was something special, and we're glad it because everybody says after you have a successful first record, you're going to have your sophomore slump, or you're going to be a one-hit wonder and all these things. So when we came out with that song, it made us gave us smooth sailing from there on out.
Maybe you avoided the sophomore slump because you redid that first album. So you got the two out of the
Yeah,
way, and then
exactly, exactly.
all part of the genius there.
That's
All right,
right.
well then the other one I mentioned With Arms Wide Open, obviously that was Scott writing about, becoming a father. And this really hits home with me because my wife and I just had a baby and she turned 1 month old yesterday.
Wow,
So
congrats.
thank you. So that song randomly popped in my head. The whole Angels heard the news today, seems my life's gonna change, and it has.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But in all seriousness, I could tear up thinking about it, man. Like I'm literally looking at our daughter. Her name's Ada Lynn, and I'm just telling her, welcome to this place. I'll show you everything. You're thinking about, like, wow, they're so innocent, and we're literally gonna have to show her everything she, grows up to be. But is that the power to the song for you? I don't know if you have kids yourself, but is that the power? It's like now we're gonna be a dad, and now I gotta be a good role model for the next generation.
Oh, it's more important than your own lives.
Yeah.
It's I have three children, and my youngest is 4, my oldest is 20, so there's a big gap. But
Uh,
that's the best part. I promise you, it will be the best part of your entire life at raising kids.
it's the hardest already and also most rewarding because you look at your eyes.
Absolutely. You won't change a second of it. Yeah,
What's
it's
your
a lot of work.
advice?
I mean, the most obvious advice is don't let a second go by without cherishing it, because it's over like that. When I even told my kids last night, we were looking at old videos. I digitized all our old tapes that we used to have back in the day, and we were watching it. And I said, enjoy your little sister right now, because she's not going to be a baby for very much longer, and
Yeah.
it's over like that.
Oh, seriously. What's the phrase? They say the days are long, but the years are short. So, it
Yeah,
seems it
yeah.
seems like it goes forever while you're up you doing the late night feedings and crying newborn. But then when you look back on it in hindsight, you're like, wow, it flew by. So we're
Best
trying to
time of your
cherish
life.
it.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
I will think of Mark Tremonti of Creed every time I'm like, no, we got to remember, cherish it.
Yes,
uh,
absolutely.
All right, we got to hit a couple other of the albums before we run. So with those two songs off Human Clay, you guys are everywhere. Everybody knows the name Creed now.
Mhm.
So some bands could say maybe pressure to follow up, but you guys delivered, man. That third album, Weathered in 2001, was just as big. I want to go into that song, My Sacrifice. I remember it was huge at the time, and being an impressionable high schooler, I remember it was used. I probably saw it in some WWF highlight reels.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy flipping. Actually, Jeff Hardy just sang it in the ring it in TNA with Joe Hendry maybe. But anyway,
That's awesome.
yeah. So the song's still being played in wrestling. But wrestling aside, My Sacrifice. What's the song mean to you?
I remember I was on an airplane and I was singing the melody to that chorus, and I presented to Scott, and he finished off the lyrics, and I started playing the music at sound checks. And when we were at that point, we were sound checking in arenas, so it was great to get on stage and um, play something that felt good in that space. So that song, I wrote it in an open tuning, so it just has this bigness to it, and it's it's a song that we usually close the entire set with every night. So it's definitely got a special place for us in our hearts.
Like the go-to encore, people love it.
Yeah.
But that just to follow up real quick, that emanated from you first. You came up with that melody because I remember the beginning. If you listen to the song, it's a little stripped down. Almost, you can almost maybe even hear your hand kind of sliding down the neck of the guitar, and then
Mhm.
it comes in. Da-na-na-na-na, you know what I mean? So is that how you
Yeah.
came up with it? Were you noodling that kind of soft at first, and or how did it come?
Yeah, no, it's gosh, it was so long ago. I just remember the first thing was the melody for the chorus,
Okay. With the
and
when you are with that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then Scott came up with the tagline, "My Sacrifice" on there, and the music just like I said, with that open tuning, with all the open strings and the chord voicings of the song there, it just felt right. It felt like we're on to our next first single from the next record, and that's what it was.
What is the sacrifice in that, if you don't mind me, lyrically, symbolically?
Um, I think that's just a song about you know, a relationship with whoever I don't want to get too religious, but the
No, you go for it. Go for
relationship.
it. It's Creedmas.
Yeah, no, the relationship, personal relationship you have with whoever you believe in, and
Your higher power is. Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
No, okay, I like that. So it's sacrificing what is it? Mortal pleasures, mortal whatever, or just to stay in touch with God or
Yeah, be a good person, man.
yeah,
Sacrifice being that bad person that sometimes peeks out, I guess.
exactly. All right, well, I know we got to run, but I got to hit at least one last breath also off that album. That one's huge. Everyone remembers "Hold Me Now, I'm 6 feet from the edge and I'm thinking." Is maybe 6 feet ain't so far down? Is that an allusion to, obviously being buried, death? Is that like I always thought it was like maybe like an avoiding suicide type of song, but what is it actually?
It's just probably just talking about just how tough life can be, and sometimes you just want to give up, but you can't, kind of a thing. But
Gotcha.
that song has really taken on a new life. It's
Yeah.
when we got back together, that's the biggest song of the night now.
Awesome, awesome. I remember there was like an incident on stage. Scott had some drug alcohol struggles. It was like a show in Chicago, an infamous thing. And Creed broke up in like 2004. Then you did Alter Bridge. Then you guys have done a couple reunions. So just how has the band sort of weathered some adversity and reunited and now do you find you all are sort of better than ever, a well-oiled machine to having gone through trials and tribulations together? That I mean, band dramas every band gets hit with drama,
Yeah,
break up and get back together, etc. But yeah, just I mean, do you feel like you're stronger as a group now, having gone through adversity?
we're different. We're adults now. Back then, we were just college kids kicking around the country, partying, playing shows, and being successful for the first time. First time I had more than $1,000 in my bank account. So it was. I struggled my whole life. So that was the first time we're out there living this dream. When you have children and careers and you start multiple bands and you see how tough it is to have a number one single, you see how tough it is to have this career and then it goes away, you grow up a bit. So I think we come together now appreciating what we have and just how rare it is to have it. And we have our other bands, we have our kids, we have our wives, and we're adults now. That's the biggest difference.
You've come full circle to quote
That's
your
right. That's
album.
right.
No, but that's true. You are adults, and I don't know. I'm a movie guy, so I'm thinking. I see the pinball machines. I think of follow my train of thought here. I think of that great movie, Paul Newman in The Verdict. He opens as a drunk playing a pinball machine, but then by the end he gives up the booze and he grows. So I don't know. It's kind of I don't know. That's the best
Yeah.
connection I can to your pinball machine, man.
There you go, man. Pinball's the answer to the world.
And the Pinball Wizards, The
That's
Who,
right.
Creed. Awesome. Final seconds. I just realized you're my first interview since that horrible news with Rob Reiner
Yeah,
passing
that
away. We're not going to comment on what happened because all the details of the crime or whatever is still, but people are figuring it out. It's awful. And by the time this airs, we might even learn more. But just in terms of highlighting his wonderful career, he did so many genres. Do you have a favorite? Is it, as a band member, is it Spinal Tap or is it
Spinal
When Harry Met
Tap,
Sally, or-
1,000, Spinal Tap, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I still haven't seen the part 2 yet, which I'm dying to see.
Yeah, well, maybe after sometime in between the tour you can see it. But that
Oh, yeah.
invented him. Reiner and Christopher Guest really invented like that whole mockumentary style.
Oh, yeah.
Well, great pick. I mean, you can't go wrong.
Did he do Best in Show as well?
Well, Christopher Guest went on to do Best in Show
Gotcha.
and Waiting for Guffman and all those. Yeah, but him and Reiner did Spinal Tap. But
Yeah.
I was just thinking about this the other day, man. How many directors can claim not only that they starred in arguably one of the greatest sitcoms with All in the Family, right? Meathead, Bunkers. But then how many directors can say they made arguably the best mockumentary with Spinal Tap, arguably the best coming of age with Stand By Me, arguably the best fantasy romance with Princess Bride, arguably the best romantic comedy ever with When Harry Met Sally, one of the greatest horror movies ever with Misery, arguably the best courtroom drama with A Few Good Men, and then you got American President. Like, it's unbelievable. The genre.
No, he wasn't part of Spaceballs, was he?
No, that was Mel Brooks.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I forgot about his part in Princess Bride because that was, all kids loved that movie.
Yeah, he made Princess Bride. Well, thank you so much for indulging me on some movie questions at the end. I know we got to let you run, but everybody, it's Creed guitarist Mark Tremonti and the rest of the guys from Creed are going to be bringing Creedmas to the Hall at Live Casino Hotel in Hanover, Maryland on December 29th. Perfect way to bring in the new year a few days early. So get your tickets now. Hey, thank you so much. This was so much fun.
Awesome. Thank you, Jason. Thanks for having me.
See ya.
All right, man. See ya.
Thanks so much for listening to Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. Our theme music is Scott Buckley's Clarion. Remember to give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. We'll see you next time.